hear me or not, but yeah, I just been in. It took me about 20 minutes to get here. I got this semi truck to the left. He got a little, I guess he got something up his butt when I just barely moved in front of him, but we'll see what he does here. If he wants to keep driving like this, I don't mind. If you want to be a tough guy and shit, I don't fucking mind, you know. I mean, some of these guys, you got to give them some respect because they fucking do this shit all day, every day and stuff. But at the same time, I'm not gonna, you know, respect them that much. These are open roads out here, but the traffic situation in this area is past the point of crazy, man. I mean, I live in Tacoma, and I just had a little, what was maybe a 13-minute commute this morning at 9 a.m. to get to somewhere in Fife. Has just gotten out at just got out at 5 in Fife at the same place today. And no, we didn't get out at 5. I take that back. We got out at like 4:40. It's 5:12 right now. I'm just getting on the highway. And the purpose of this video is to ask the question, all right, who would have ever imagined we'd have map like a phone, a cell phone that then on top of it can map out where we're at? Well, at the same time, who would have ever thought that when you're like 3 blocks away from a highway, I-5, which links Canada to Mexico, you're 2 blocks away, that it's your 4th option to use as far as time is concerned. It is outrageous. It is ludicrous. It makes no sense. It's embarrassing. It's despicable. And this is the first time I've really had to do this commute in well over a couple years. Okay, well over a year. I don't know how people do this every day. I don't know how people don't. Yeah, it looks good right now, right? Yeah, well, they have me avoid like all the traffic on the highway the last couple miles, and I was just over in this little town in Fife, just stopped. But the fact that no one's like gone crazy or gone postal or gone highway, which I think by now should be a new phrase, at least in this neck of the country. We're approaching the Tacoma Dome area right now. We're on I-5, the Tacoma Dome I-5 bottleneck, which I guess might not be considered that bad right now, but if you look at the way these things is designed, absolutely no sense. There's just no sense involved. It's kind of sad that there hasn't been at least more news stories in the community done on just how inept these designs are and have been. Whether it's a highway design, whether it's an on-ramp from 16, linking people from downtown to Gig Harbor. I mean, they're not well designed, but what they are is extremely dangerous. And they do these constructions for years. I've seen lanes shut down for 5 years. The same spot, just completely shut down. This one up here, if I were coming home from work tonight and took I-5, which I don't, I'd have to sit in the same backed up traffic to get onto the on-ramp that's been there for years. The same exact lane. So I was recently in Phoenix, Mesa area, and it was like just completely, well, on top of it being a different world weather-wise, it was to see their highways open and moving during quote-unquote rush hour was like learning a new language without having to learn it. It was like just eye-opening. I never quite thought that a big city could have that, but it did when I was there at least. And I mean, to me, Mesa is as big a city as Tacoma is. We ain't no big city in Tacoma. Man, we were like 30 miles south of Seattle, but you wouldn't really know that we're not a big city by our ridiculous construction, these roads, man. I would say about 8 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, they were designing a new off-ramp And before they even were within 2 years of completing it, my dad looked at the layout of the freeway and he couldn't believe it. My dad was a truck driver, a semi driver for 28 years, but he looked at the layout of the design and he said, oh my God, somebody's gonna get killed if they go with that, because it basically was a 35-mile-an-hour turn on a straight 90-degree angle, which was right around one of these bridges up here. And sure enough, you know, rest in peace to the poor kid that died, but it wasn't 2 months before that thing was open that there was one death. Kid just straight ran into the wall. Like I said, look at this. It's like this. I mean, these, you know, poor people sit in this every day. I think this lane's moving as fast as we can expect. But it's really amazing that there's been really no stories actually. You know, a story-wise could be anything from drawing up emotional appeal, appeal to people's emotions, and you could take a story of that poor kid that died, or you could take a story of people that sit in this crap every day and how they've watched as construction crews come and go, but nothing changes. As more money's poured in, more people move in, yet we're living in like some archaic design here of a freeway. No one's accountable. There's no one that answers to the people. And this is the exit I'm going to be taking up here. I might have to put the phone down. It's going to be dangerous, it looks like. I kind of missed my ramp back there. But it's bad around the holidays. It's always bad on Fridays. I used to commute from Olympia to Tacoma. I was a driver for a truck company, and my commute had me coming that way, but it was Monday through Friday. But on Fridays, 30 miles north from Olympia to here, I never really took my foot off the brake. And I talk to my dad about that sometimes, and he's like, yeah, you don't take your foot off the brake for 30 miles. Doesn't make much sense. But hopefully there's some hope. I mean, I don't care your views. I don't care how bad you hate or love Trump. The fact is, he's something different. And what we've been using these last 100 years or 50 years hasn't worked. It's only gotten worse. So thank God for the American people who elected Donald Trump, and take away his name, because his name likes to get tarnished. Thank God the American people elected an outsider. Y'all have a good one.